Hello, everyone. This is it. The ultimate beginner electric guitar lesson by A.K.Orion. Yours truly. All right, so first and foremost, what I want to begin with is a recommendation in terms of what I would consider one of the ultimate albums ever produced and recorded with Paul O'Neill. This came out in 1987. Sabotage, Hall of the Mountain King. I would consider that one of the grandest, ultimate albums ever recorded. Why? Because of Christopher Michael Oliva, Chris Oliva, or as I usually refer to him as, the Oliva Master. So, what we're going to do here, guys, today is, look, I know there's a lot of you out there in terms of shredding and so on and so forth, the whole realm of playing fast and how to do that. Well, consider this. Right? Let's liken this to martial art. And let's consider, if you will, the master of martial arts, Bruce Lee. In all of his writings and all of his books, one of the things that he suggests and recommends consistently is a technique must be performed hundreds of thousands of times till it becomes part of your innermost nature. Now, in order for that to happen, right? The way the mind operates and processes information, especially, now consider this, especially for muscle memory. And when we're using our fingers and picking, this is all muscle memory. In order for that to be actually interred into our muscle memory and the synapses in our brain, that information must be processed gradually. So what does that mean? Well, it's just like martial art. You must practice it slowly at first and gradually build up speed. Why? Well, think of it like such. If we are going down a hill in a car and you put the brakes on, you're not going faster, right? But if you take your foot off and you coast, you will pick up speed. So therein lies the secret. You got to be relaxed, okay? So this lesson is going to be very much geared toward play in a relaxed manner and gradually over time develop your speed. Because then your playing will be clear, concise, very articulate, all right? And that's what you want. So the first thing I'm going to do is give you my low E and A. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I am tuned to E flat, right? So half step down. So let me give you that E. And here's the A. Now, the last thing I want to make mention of is my settings and what type of amplification I'm using, or my amp. Of course, this is my Boss Katana, the MK2. And as I usually have made mention of this throughout a series of my videos, but I will mention it again here, all right? So, the setting is on the lead channel. The gain is all the way up. The volume is all the way up. The bass and the mids are at about 11 o'clock. The treble is all the way up. My reverb and my delay are at 11 o'clock. All right? My master volume is at about, I would say, 3-ish, like 3 o'clock, right around there. Maybe a little bit, a hair's width above that. All right? And I'm using my Ibanez Geo, which I really love this guitar, mainly because of these pickups. The infinity pickups, I love them. All right, so here's how we're going to start, everyone. I'm going to start initially right here on the 2nd fret on the D string and the G string on the 4th fret. First, to initiate that chord, I am going to hit the open A. And then I'm going to go up a half step or a semitone to the 3rd fret on the D, and then the G string on the 5th fret. And of course, hitting the open A string first, once again. Then I'm going to do the same exact process, the same exact picking, going up to the 5th fret on the D and the 7th fret on the G. And of course, we're hitting the open A string initially again. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here on the D string on the 9th fret of the D the 7th fret. I apologize, everyone. 7th fret on the D and the 9th fret of the G. All right? And then I will explain further what we will do next, but let's get that first. So here's what this should go like. And all down picking. You don't have to alternate pick, all right, to start with. So notice on that G, every time I hit the G string, I'm giving it a little bit of vibrato. Now let's do it without the vibrato. And I'm muting. I'm muting that A when I hit it. And I'm muting the D, which means I am using the palm of my hand to rest on the bridge. Watch me. And that, I picked only once, so I went. Right there. Notice. Okay. Then from there, we're going to go to a D shape, which many people call this a D sus. So a D chord would be first finger on the G string on the 2nd fret, ring finger on the 3rd fret on the B, and the middle finger on the high E string on the 2nd fret, like so. So we're leaving out the high E. We're only going to use the G and the B. All right, so here we go. Notice we're doing something very similar to what we did initially. Watch what I'm doing. That's starting on the 2nd fret of the G and the 3rd fret on the B and hitting the D string open. Then I'm going to go up a semitone to the 3rd fret and do the same exact thing. Then I'm going to go up to the 5th fret and do exactly the same thing. Then I'm going to go up to the 7th fret and do exactly the same thing. Then I'm going to go up to the 9th fret and do exactly the same thing. Here's what I mean. Now, if you choke up on the pick to where there's only a very small tip of the pick, and you let the skin of your thumb graze the string as you're picking, you will get an artificial harmonic. Very important to develop that. So from there, I'm going from the 10th to the 9th to the 7th to the 5th to the 3rd to the 2nd on the G string. Once again. Okay, now, next phrase we're going to use. I am going to hit the D string open. I'm going to have my index finger on the G string on the 2nd fret, and I'm going to use my pinky on the 5th fret. Then we're going to move up a half step or a semitone, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. So D string open, and 3rd fret on the G, and the pinky on the 6th fret. Then I'm going to hit the D string open and go to the 5th fret on the G and the 8th fret on the B. And again, now we're going to move up a whole step, and we're going to go up to the 7th fret on the G and the 10th fret on the B, and of course hitting that D string open initially. And then we're going to go up to the 9th fret, and of course hitting that D string open once again, and going to the 9th fret on the G and the 12th fret on the B. So here's what I mean by that. All right. Now the goal is to do a lot of that stuff out of order, meaning inversion. You need to find different spots and change it around and just make it changeable for you. For example, right? All right, everyone. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that. I promise you, if you work on this, your playing will improve 10,000-fold. I kid you not. How do I know that? Because this is how I practice. And once again, in closing, I want to recommend this album right here. This is Sabotage, Hall of the Mountain King. With Christopher Michael Oliva on guitar. You need to get this. Because why? Well, number one, it's got 24 hours ago, which is like so. Okay? We'll talk more about that in the next video. Thank you for watching. Have a great one, everyone. I hope you benefit greatly from this video. And again, just to reiterate, if you work on this material that I've just covered in this video, your playing will be phenomenal in terms of this style of heavy metal. All right? Thank you very much. Have a great one. Please do not forget to smash that like, ring that notification bell. Please subscribe to my channel if you like this content. And I ask you, honestly, if you did like this video, please share it with all your friends. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon, everyone. Have a great one. Take care, and I will see you soon in the next one. Thank you.